This is the video submission for Assessment 1 of the Security in Computing and Information Technology course. My name is Tom Thak Ho Long and my student ID is 3958304. For the first part of this video, it will be presenting my findings of the case study. In this case, it is the case study of Papaya International Hospital. And in the second part of this demo, I will demo two use cases of symmetric encryption and two cases of asymmetric encryption. So we will talk about the case study, which is Papaya International Hospital. About the company launched in 2011 with the dream to provide high-quality private healthcare services to women and children in Vietnam. And today, Papaya International Hospital is the country's prestigious leading healthcare provider, and it is also well known for its skilled medical personnel and 5-star service. Now we'll move on to the problem analysis. In May of 2023, Papaya International Hospital was hit by a cyber attack in which cyber criminals ran spear phishing emails to trick employees into clicking malicious links and installing malicious software on their computers. After gaining unauthorized access, the attackers launched a DDoS attack against the hospital's servers, causing chaos and disrupted the hospital's operations. The IT team of the hospital later found out that the sensitive data, such as medical records, financial information, and intellectual property, were stolen in the attack. And the attack resulted in significant financial and reputational losses, with the cybercriminals' identities remaining unknown to this day. So from that problem analysis, I was able to create this attack tree, which shows us the cybercriminals' well-planned attack, that they used a wide range of techniques, such as social engineering, spear phishing emails, malicious softwares, DDoS attacks. And from this attack tree and the problem summary, we can identify that a major problem is social engineering, because without the spear phishing email, the cyber criminals would not be able to have had access to the internal network and install the malicious software. However, we can identify that another problem is the fact that the hospital's email system had no encryption, which enabled the cybercriminals to spread their malicious software to other systems in the organization. And from the attack tree, we were able to create this risk assessment table, where we were able to identify 5 risks, which included the spear phishing email and the malicious software afterwards. Also, the lack of encryption in the company's email system, and the DDoS attack, and also finally the stolen data that the cyber criminals were able to get from the hospital. So in this table, the two highest scoring threats are stolen data and malicious software, because it presented a high risk to confidentiality, with the ability for the information to be sold off to the highest bidder in the dark web, and also with data like access credentials, they can be used for future attacks related to the organization. So it is deemed crucial that the IT team and the cybersecurity team within the organization address these threats immediately in order to prevent future attacks. Now we'll move on to the potential solutions. I was able to identify 3 potential solutions for this problem. The first being multi-factor authentication, which is a security feature that requires users to provide multiple forms of identification. So multi-factor authentication, or for short MFA, usually combines something the user knows, which is usually a password, and something the user has, which is, for example, a smartphone or like a token. And more recently, we can see in the IT field, it is something the user is, for example, the Face ID by facial recognition or the fingerprint. Uh, the multi-factor authentication can help reduce the risk of unauthorized access because of a spear phishing attack or any other social engineering attack. So even if an employee falls victim to a phishing attack, the additional authentication factors such as facial or fingerprint uh, authentication serve as an additional layer of defense and prevent cyber criminals from gaining unauthorized access to the hospital systems. The next solution would be intrusion detection and prevention system, or better known as an IDPS. So a IDPS, and more specifically a network-based IDPS, monitors network traffic for suspicious or malicious activities that may indicate cyber threats. And by deploying a network-based IDPS, Papaya International Hospital can detect and prevent potential cyber threats such as DDoS attacks and unauthorized access attempts and other network-based attacks, therefore improving overall network security and protect sensitive patient data. And the last solution is Secure Multi-Purpose Internet Mail Extension, or for short SMIME. It is a standard for digital signatures and email encryption. And it is one of the most widely used technologies for applying cryptographic techniques for emails. It offers a way to use digital signatures to secure email content and confirm the sender's identity, something that the employee in the case study couldn't do before. And by using SMIME, the hospital can protect against email-based attacks, and they can protect sensitive patient data by ensuring end-to-end encryption and validating sender identities through digital signatures. So from all of these three potential solutions, my recommendation would be implementing SMIME because of the lack of encryption in its email system. Even though the lack of encryption ranks low on the risk assessment table, I believe that it is the root cause of all the threats that happen after it. That is why I recommend implementing SMIME email encryption to ensure confidentiality, integrity, and also the trustworthiness of email communications. As mentioned before, SMIME email encryption provides strong end-to-end encryption, and it also offers digital signatures, which provide an effective authentication mechanism. And also the integration of SMIME can be simple and straightforward, as SMIME is supported by many email clients and servers such as Microsoft Outlook. However, after implementing SMIME, I would recommend the IT team and the heads of the hospital to look into integrating the two other technologies that I mentioned in the potential solutions, as I believe all three technologies combined can further improve the hospital security system and prevent attacks like this one from happening in the future. Right, that is the end of part 1 of this video, which is the case study, and now we'll be moving on to the technical demonstration of symmetric encryption and asymmetric encryption. This is part 2 of the technical demo, where I will be demoing two variations of symmetric cryptography and asymmetric cryptography. First, I will be demoing symmetric cryptography in DES and AES encryption styles. First, I'll start with DES. So first, I'll create a file, plain text, and then I'll put some information into that file. Now we'll check the file to see if the information is inputted in there. Okay, secret information. Now we want to encrypt our file using DES encryption. So open SSL, and ENC stands for encryption. Now we'll use the DES ECB type of encryption. We'll input our plain text file, and we'll output the encrypted text.txt. It'll ask for our encryption password, so you go ahead and type your password in, and it'll ask the password once again for verification. And now here it is saying a warning that the DSECB encryption style is deprecated and using iteration or this would be better, but your file would still be encrypted. So if you would see this encrypted text file. You can see our text file is still encrypted. Now moving on to another type of symmetric cryptography, which is AES encryption. The main difference between AES and DES encryption is that AES has become the industry standard for encryption, replacing DES in many applications. And in software implementations, AES is usually generally faster because it is more simple and its operations are more efficient. And it operates on blocks of 128 bits, while DES use 64-bit blocks, and it's generally more secure. So we'll create another file again. So create secret, and once again we'll echo some information into it. So top secret, highly confidential information into our secret file. We'll check if text is there. So it's cat secret. Yep, top secret, highly confidential information. Now we'll want to encrypt the file using AES encryption. So ENC and AES 256 ECB, and we'll want to input our secret file, and then we'll output a encrypted AES text txt. It once again ask for our password. Type in password and ask us to verify our password. And once again it says that it is deprecated and using iterations would be better, but for the sake of this demonstration our file is still encrypted, so you can check it out here. Encrypted AX text. Yep, our file is encrypted. You cannot see what this text is reading about. Now in order to decrypt the file, you would use OpenSSL, encrypt, and then add a D for decryption. Use the same AES 256 ECB, and then we'll input our encrypted AES text. Now it'll ask us for our password, so type Enzo. Yep, and there it is. Top secret, highly confidential information from the encrypted AES text file. Now we'll move on to asymmetric cryptography. Now first I'll demo the use of RSA, which will generate a public and a private key. Once again, we'll create a file. So touch secret info.txt. We want to echo some information there as well. So let's say email address it.edu.vn, highly confidential at the end as well. Why not? And we'll put that in our secret info text. Okay, we'll check our text. Yep, confidential. Now we'll want to generate our key pairs. So gen RSA, generate RSA key, and the output will be a key, let's say the private key. So I'll just write private key.pen extension, and I want the length of the key to be 2048-bit. To view the key information, we'll just say open SSL RSA. We'll input our private key, and then text and no out. You'll see the information of your private key. Now we'll extract the public key from the private key. So open SSL RSA and then we'll input our private key. We want to pub out, so public out, and then output the public key .pem. Now it says writing RSA key. That means our commands are all good. So now we want to encrypt the file with the public key. So open SSL pkey utility. So public key utility. Input our, let's see the name of the text again. Secret info. Okay, we'll input our secret info.text. And then we want to output our encrypted, let's name the file encrypted secret.txt. We want to insert our public key. Public key, and we want to encrypt the file. Now this command will encrypt the data using the public key that we just inputted, and it'll output the encrypted. So we'll just check out what's in the encrypted secret file right now. As you can see, gibberish, very encrypted gibberish. Now we want to decrypt the file using, let's clear this. Now we want to decrypt the file using the private key. So open SSL pkey utility. We'll input our encrypted secret text, and then we'll output we'll name it decrypted secret text. We'll input our key, which is private key.pem, and we'll ask it to decrypt the file. Now let's check out the file. So decrypted secret text. Yep, you can see it's the exact same as the file before that. Okay, that's good. Now we want to create another variation of asymmetric cryptography, which is digital signature. So we want to create another file again. So touch, let's say, should this be recipe.txt. So I go 5 ounces of Los Pollos Hermanos chicken. Put that into the recipe. Check if that is there. Yep, 5 ounces of Los Pollos Hermanos chicken. Now we want to generate a key pair again. So open SSL gen RSA. RSA output. We'll say the private key will be COSC key, 2048-bit. And from the private key, we want to generate the public key. So open SSL gen RSA. We'll input our private key, which is in this case the COSC key, and then we'll want to output the public key, which in this case we'll name it the vault key. Yep, writing RSA key, that means our command is correct. Now we'll want to sign the file using our private key. So open SSL DGST, which is digest, which means we're assigning the file, hashing the file using SHA-256, and we're assigning it with our private key, which in this case is COSC key, and then we want to output the signature. In this case is sign.SHA-256. Then put the recipe.txt here. So this command will use SHA-256 to hash the content of the recipe, and then sign the hash with this signature, generating this signature file. Now, if you want to verify the signature, you'll have to do open SSL and then digest SHA-256. You want to say verify in order to verify it. We want to verify using the public key. So in this case, we use vault key. And with the signature of the file being this SHA-256. Sorry, SHA-256. And then recipe which is our file. Verified OK. That means the signature is valid. That concludes this assignment 1 video for the Security in Computing and Information Technology course. Thank you for watching.